So this is the most fun session of the day because we're not going to go through a whole bunch of slides. We'll recap a few things, but then most of this will be a chance for you to ask questions on anything Jim talked about, Kevin talked about, workstation. I will not cover, and John will not cover how to build a VMware data center solution today. That's off the table. We can't.
Absolutely.
Cannot cover that. But other than that, yeah, this will really be a chance to talk about the things you heard today. And if there's questions that you want to ask, this is the chance to do it. So, you want to get us started?
Yeah. So again, John Hampton, and I lead our commercial business development efforts worldwide. And I've had a chance to meet many of you, whether it's in Australia or in other parts of Asia. I spend a lot of time in the Asia Pacific region, and so I'm very familiar with the customer base as well as the end customers that we ultimately sell to. And so I just wanted to reinforce a few things here with you all today. The first is, this is the largest commercial portfolio we've ever had. And today is historic in the sense that this is the first time we've ever had all three major OEMs offer both notebooks and desktops that are true enterprise class solutions for the market. And we believe that that is a validation of the technology. This is clearly the most competitive technology that we've ever delivered in every facet. We are truly competing all the way up to Core i7 and Core i7 vPro with our Ryzen 7 Pro. Particularly in the mobile space, we're very excited. We shared a lot of the performance capabilities with you all today, but in productivity, CPU-driven performance, we're very excited by what we've delivered with the OEMs. The graphics performance with Vega integrated is above and beyond anything our competition can really offer. We've actually increased our lead in the graphics space because we've now been able to engineer for the first time the current generation graphics architecture onto the APU, which is a phenomenal achievement. Typically it trails by generation. It's N-1 versus the discrete graphics. But now within, I believe, just 4 months of launching Vega discrete graphics, we have it integrated into the APU. So as the commercial market shifts more to graphics-oriented, visually oriented workloads, applications, we can take full advantage of that. So we're very excited about that aspect of it as well.
And I would add to that, I think Kevin touched on that a little bit today, but you know, it's very true that the workplace is becoming more and more visual. Collaboration is incredibly important, and that's not just capabilities about, you know, how powerful is my graphics engine, but it's also delivering a really rich experience on the screen. All of those same capabilities are what makes the Vega graphics engine so fantastic. And that extends into the future as the workplace becomes more about collaboration or visualization through AR, VR, those types of things. The advantage that we have in the graphics horsepower in our products really gives us an opportunity to address where we believe the commercial market will go in the next couple of years, which is really exciting.
Absolutely. And when we look at our value proposition that you started to become familiar with respect to Pro, security, reliability, and performance. That's where we really have invested. That's what we're really confident that we've delivered on. And so, you know, happy to answer questions about these particular areas, but I'll share just briefly, again, just to go a little bit more detail, particularly on the security front. We did hear from Microsoft, but I want to reinforce that all of the latest Windows 10 security features have been enabled. So things like Device Guard for device security, Credential Guard, identity security, enterprise data protection, which is obviously data security driven, TPM 2.0, latest encryption standards, all of those have been enabled. Windows Hello biometric authentication has been enabled. And then we look at platform level security. I would encourage you to ask about some of these new platform security features in your sessions with the OEMs. You know, HP shared a number of new platform level security features that are now on Ryzen Pro based systems. So the SureView, which is kind of protects your
privacy screen.
Your privacy. It's a privacy security. SureClick is another one that they shared.
What's SureClick? I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, SureClick. Are you familiar with Bromium technology at all? So I might even.
Oh, you.
If you want to add to this, there might be one you ask HP for more details on.
It would be good to ask HP
Yeah.
for more details on that. It's a way of securing, interactions within the browser, isolating each tab from each other. So there's some underlying virtualization acceleration that happens with that. But that would be a good one to talk to HP.
Well, they're the ones we're probably seeing next. So
There you
Yeah,
go.
Perfect timing.
And then it's particularly what I would say is most compelling from my perspective is Sure Start Generation 4. That's where HP's taken advantage of our AMD secure processor to enable more hardware-based protection. There's a trusted application that's used to basically enable runtime intrusion detection. And so it's firmware and BIOS intrusion detection. In the past, what we found is modern security threats, malware, during a boot sequence when you're executing millions of lines of code, they could sneak in and hide there and go undetected by the OS. And clearly you have major issues there because your data could be compromised, et cetera, your whole system could be compromised. So now, as we boot up a system, the only thing that'll boot up would be initially our AMD secure processor, and the x86 cores do not boot up at that point in time. We do the checkpoint. Is it safe? Are there any threats? If not, then you continue the boot sequence. And so we've really advanced platform level security significantly with our partners. That's just one example. Dell and Lenovo also have secure boot processes as well. So being able to really finally be able to talk about hardware-based security for PCs is really a phenomenal achievement as well. Reliability, again, this isn't the most exciting thing to talk about, but it's exactly what customers depend on, require in a professional solution. You heard about image stability, the longevity, warranty, commercial grade quality, all of the manageability features that we offer now, including KVM, which is coming in this generation for us. So it's a no compromise alternative to vPro with respect to security and reliability. And the one thing I will add that you heard from Kevin is that we don't dilute our entry-level products like our competition does. You drop below that premium i5 or i7 vPro to i3, you lose the stable image program, you lose vPro security and manageability, along with a number of other features. And they're forcing customers to have to pay the premium to get those products. They may or may not even need the level of performance of i5 or i7. Particularly in the APJ market, this is one that we're trying to bring more security, more reliability to more people, more organizations. Do the same thing with our server lineup. It's a much more customer-centric approach. I often ask customers, why should you have to pay more for security? That's what everybody needs right now. And so we in particular are excited about how the Ryzen 3 Pro solutions could really take off in the market for that reason. Much more aggressive system price points with all the features customers need, and certainly very compelling levels of performance. And again, there's so many different ways that we can talk about performance, but again, this is so exciting to see the ability to show and share with you all now competing with Core i7 and winning in many benchmarks, PC Mark 10 and Cinebench, 3D Mark, we showed some great results there. So, I think that, are we going to win across the board in every benchmark? No, but this is, again, far and away the most competitive we've been. And I'll just close by saying the market is so excited about this. And I hope that you're hearing this as well. But to have an alternative in the premium space of the market where we're bringing choice, we're bringing a very viable, competitive alternative, that's exciting. And we're seeing the results of that. We were first to market with 16 cores, 8 cores, 4 cores, and now you're seeing the competition respond. And you're getting better technology from them as AMD pushes that innovation. You're also getting better pricing. We've seen the results and shared with many of you all in the past the immediate results of us bringing new technology to the market and our competition drops pricing significantly because they have to in order to compete now. So what I would just say is that's absolutely being embraced and we're very much being welcomed into the market by our customers and really expect a lot of growth, right, in the commercial market. So with that, David and I would be happy to answer other questions that you have or continue discussion on any of these topics.
So 2 questions. The first one is TSME,
Yes.
the trusted secure memory encryption. So
Yeah.
the Ryzen Pro was, previous Ryzen Pro was an EPIC. That is the protection for the CPU accessing to memory is encrypted.
Correct, yeah.
So how about Ryzen Pro Mobile? It is not only the CPU but also GPU
Sure.
can access to memory. So this TSMC covering the GPU writing or the GPU access memory also encrypted.
That's
right?
correct, because it's a shared frame buffer between CPU and GPU on a Ryzen mobile product. And so every physical memory transaction that leaves the APU to talk to memory is now encrypted with that AES 128-bit key.
I see. The second question is the capability of the graphics driver. Basically, you have the 2 kinds of the graphic driver. First one is the Radeon software. It is a full function to DirectX 11 and 12, but the limited support for the OpenGL. And the second is Radeon Pro graphics driver. It is the full function to OpenGL. So how about the Ryzen Pro Mobile's graphic driver? Is it the same as consumer or the Radeon Pro driver?
There are some differences, absolutely. It is not the same as our consumer driver because it doesn't, let's put it this way, for a business organization, you will never see AMD release day 0 game updates to get more performance on a particular game title. So it is based on the consumer driver base, the consumer software stack. There are features that are irrelevant to the commercial market that won't get turned on in those drivers in some cases. And it will change on a slower cadence. It is not the same as the Radeon Pro driver stack. It's based more on the consumer driver stack.
I see.
Yeah, that is something we're kind of exploring is how we might better leverage our Radeon Pro business and the driver set that we have. So it's a very interesting question. I would reinforce that we're excited about what David shared about the potential that we now have in the workstation market. We're already very well represented by our professional graphics, our Radeon Pro discrete graphics, and now what you're seeing is a growing interest to actually use our compute and our CPU capabilities in workstations. And so would love you all in many ways to share what you're learning about workstation. And we're very much trying to change the market in workstation just as we did in the client space and now happening in server as well. That's certainly a goal.
Sure.
Add to that. We're already seeing a lot, particularly in Europe and in North America, we're seeing a lot of system integrators now offering Threadripper, even Epic in high-end workstations, some of which are out here in the demo area. I encourage you to go take a look, and let's just say this, that it's getting the attention of the big OEMs as well. And so we're very hopeful that we'll start to see the bigger OEMs adopt AMD CPU compute capabilities in their workstation line.
I've got a few questions, but I'll probably spread them to let other people have a chance too. But one of the partners that was on the slide today was Huawei, and I was just wondering what can you tell us about the machines that they're bringing to market?
I don't think we can comment on that, to be honest with you. I did not see that on the slide today. I know that we have not announced a product with Huawei.
Oh, definitely there.
Okay.
I can show you.
Okay. Well, Gareth will have to follow up on that and figure out what that was all about.
Sure. And I mean, obviously you have your partners who presumably will be doing their own sort of marketing. Obviously Intel has its marketing program, but what sort of, presumably, I don't know, aggressive marketing will you do to really help your partners and to, beyond us all here in the room, to spread the message, through your system integrators and everybody else?
Yeah, David, feel free to add this. There's so many layers to our marketing programs, Alex. We certainly do a lot of co-marketing, as you mentioned, with our OEMs, and we've invested very heavily to make sure that this technology is being marketed and promoted. This is our time. This is a new era, and so we're working very closely with each of our new our OEM partners to deliver those types of messages around the Ryzen Pro capabilities. But beyond that, we're certainly trying to also market directly to end users. So you'll see campaigns that are run, Gareth and the PR team as well as the marketing team helping get those messages out for Ryzen Pro, for Epic as well, so that we're reaching those larger end customers. And then we actually also, with the channel, we're very much investing more than we have historically with our channel partners. So some of that is also in conjunction with our OEMs, but bigger investments so that we can grow our channel business. And we have programs in place for our channel partners to earn a percentage of dollars back by stocking AMD, selling through AMD. That's allowed us to be a lot more competitive with our channel partners. So,
I'll add to that a little bit. I think it certainly helps when you have products that are very competitive, very high performance that people want to buy. And one of the things that Kevin shared this morning was the growth in our premium portfolio. So as we look at whether it's in the U.S. the Best Buy premium collection or whether it's the Microsoft featured PCs, our partners, HP, Dell, Lenovo, Microsoft, their marketing spend and their reach is so much broader than what AMD can do directly. And the way for us to tap into that and to leverage that and to work with them to make our products and campaigns successful is to have those premium products that they want to go put money behind and they want to feature. In the past, I think one of our biggest handicaps has been we haven't had the right platforms where they really want to go spend a bunch of money on a mainstream platform that just fills a price point and it's a volume product for them. But now having these really exciting premium products that they want to invest in and want to put money behind is going to change the way that you see AMD products marketed and the visibility of AMD products in retail, online, or wherever the case may be.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to say too is I very much appreciate each of you all being here as our partners in the press, and really invite you all to help us share this message and get it out. And so it's exactly why we do events like this, so that you can amplify all of what you've heard here and really help us reach more and more people so that we can truly change the market. Very passionate about the technology and hope that you now walk away with that same level of confidence and passion about the new products.
And with the graphics built into the Ryzen Pro, you're mentioning VR and AR, so clearly these are fully ready to go with the mixed reality headsets from Microsoft. And
they support mixed reality from Microsoft, yes, and it's compared to the level of performance, the level of graphics that is in a competitive product from the guys across the street, we deliver a fantastic experience in a APU-based 15 to 25 watt notebook platform.
And we've done some research, and the vast majority of the head-mounted displays in the market are powered by AMD. Last I checked, it was north of 80%, which is a staggering figure. So
are you talking about the ones from HP and Dell and the standard ones with the mixed reality?
The primary HMDs that are out there from Oculus, HTC, those types of guys. And I'll also go back and remind you, when we launched Ryzen Pro CPUs, codenamed Summit Ridge, back in August of last year, we did see some desktop designs, particularly the HP EliteTest 705 G3, that was a VR-ready machine. And they're very much trying to drive adoption of VR in the commercial market, a lot of interest. And so...
And so that was for VR content creation as opposed to just consumption?
Yeah, certainly one of the types of workloads and applications that HP has promoted is not just a pure consumption. This is truly something where we hope to see applications being developed and on these systems for other vertical markets that need and want VR. So we expect that is going to really change the face of the industry here in the future with VR.
I have one more, but I'll let somebody else ask if they want.
My question is in addition to Alex's. So when you say that you're looking at more co-branding, if you look at Intel, Intel Inside became a buzzword, at least in India. I don't know about the other parts. So are you looking at running a similar campaign with OEMs or on your own to kind of get, establish the brand? People know AMD, but it really isn't top of the mind.
Yes,
I can start with that one. I mean, I think that we've taken the approach in recent history of working through our partners and making the brands of HP and Dell and Lenovo the hero of the platform, as opposed to making the AMD brand front and center. So, I could probably sing an AMD type of jingle, but at the end of the day, what we really want to be known for is enabling great platforms through our partners, and that's what's going to sell AMD at the end of the day. The truth is, if you look at the PC market and look at who researches and who buys those types of products, and we even see this in studies that we do around consumer purchase behavior in retail. When you're talking about somebody who's a DIY PC builder, they care a great deal about the processor that goes into their system, and they will spend time reading all of your reviews. They'll spend time really analyzing the product from end to end to figure out what's best. The person who's buying an HP or a Dell or a Lenovo system, they're not as invested in which processor is in that system. A lot of times they'll walk into the store and their mind can be changed at the very last minute based on, this one, this notebook looks better than this one, or I like the screen better on this one than the other. The level of importance of processor choice in that notebook is down at number 4 or 5 on the list in what most consumers worry about in those systems. Wow. And so our belief really is we want to go build really awesome premium mobile and desktop systems through our partners, and those will pull through AMD and get people to recognize what we're doing.
So in that case, is the strategy to focus more on premium devices rather than go mass? Because I know of a lot of because when our friends ask us for review, they go to the store, and as soon as they find out that it's not an Intel processor, they don't buy the product.
Right.
So that's based on past.
Yeah.
So
I would just give you maybe some leading indicators here. We do a lot of research on this, and what we have seen recently is we are gaining share in the market. Preference for AMD is increasing. Awareness of AMD is increasing, and so those are all signs that we're certainly changing these perceptions that may exist. And we're a technology company. We're very proud of the technology. And we, in many ways, a lot of the industry now views our competition as more of a marketing-driven company. But we recognize that we have to build awareness, and the fact that we are entering this new era with a more competitive product, we are investing heavily to change those perceptions, increase awareness. And what I would just come back to is the direction is that is working. We'll continue to do that.
So is the focus to be mass or premium?
Well, here's a good counter to that. So as I'll use the analogy of the desktop market. Okay, so in the desktop market, while Threadripper is an incredible product, it's a halo product. It doesn't sell a lot of volume, but it makes people aware of AMD and pulls them towards all the other Ryzen products that are out there. And so on the consumer side or on the consumer mobile side, it's the same thing. Being in those high-end or premium devices that people look at and say, wow, that's really awesome, and I love it, and it looks great, but I don't want to spend that much money on a system. Maybe I'll step down to the next level, but boy, if Lenovo or HP was willing to put AMD in that really high-end platform, it must be a really good choice for this volume platform as well.
I've got a 2-word slogan that might excite the Indian market. Given the superhero status of your latest processors and the popularity of superhero movies, you should just call it the AMD Avengers. Now, my final question is that in Intel processors, there was some scandal that there was like a Minix operating system built in that the users couldn't access, and that people were concerned that, hey, there's this whole operating system not on my storage but inside the processor. Is there one in yours?
Well, there's been a lot. Kevin talked today about our platform security processor, which in itself is designed to enable security at a platform level. It runs its own software stack. It has the ability to run trusted applications from our partners like HP with their Assured Start application. That's not to say that that's gives the system the ability to do something, let's call it in the Windows world or in the user world. It's about enabling platform security on the product. So I don't know that there's a one-to-one analogy between what happened on the Intel side and what happens on the AMD platform security processor. But security is definitely something that we take seriously. We work very closely with our partners to make sure, and partners being OEMs, Microsoft, et cetera, to make sure that what goes into our security processor, the functions that it runs, are all necessary to enable the security of the platform and not overreaching in terms of capabilities or functionality that it delivers.
Well, I look forward to seeing the AMD Avengers sticker soon.
Me too. That would be a good one.
We have
Yeah.
time for one more, Blade, right?
Yeah,
Just
last
one more.
one.
Yeah.
What about the training? You get a certification calendar, and what other activities gonna make with resellers and distributors?
Yes, very, very important. And so basically this launch event is the first day that we can begin talking about these products. And so our regional teams will be very active in training, going through the content that you heard about today with distributors, with value-added resellers. We try to really train the full ecosystem. Some of the times that's directly from AMD to the partner, but also it's also in conjunction with our OEMs. Even today, we have kicked off significant training programs with the OEMs, with their technical communities, with their sales teams, with their marketing teams. So that I appreciate you asking, because it's very, very important that, again, we get the word out, we train all of our partners and ultimately our customers on this new exciting technology. Does
Thank you
that
so
answer
much.
your question?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.